What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be walking you through what exactly this system looks like on the back end, right? As I explained in a couple other videos, the powerhouse, the lifeblood of this entire system is obviously going to be good marketing, right? Promotional campaigns, organic content, daily reels, posts, you know all that stuff already. If you're here, you're curious on what exactly this back end system looks like. So for the sake of the video, I put together a dummy CRM account just to give you an idea visually on what some of these things look like and what to expect when you onboard into the program. So as you can see, just a dummy sub account here, Johnny's Luxury Lagoons for the pool builder crowd out there. Get familiar with this interface. I mean, in my opinion, it's pretty easy to use, but obviously we are always here as a resource to help train you on how each component works. And I guess the best place to start really is the pipeline, the sales pipeline or the sales flow, or what's labeled in Go high level as opportunities. Right here, this is just, again, a sample, but this is a pretty good idea on what it would look like for you. It's a very simple workflow, right? We have 4 different categories for each of these contact cards to exist in. So again, made a couple samples here that you can see under the in-home scheduled tab. But preceding that, we have the Got Estimate and Follow-Up tab, which each client card would be moved into this after the estimate was given, or at least when it was after it was scheduled or after the home visit took place. And then we have when the contacts are in contract, and then when the deals are signed and closed. Now, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on how this works, but pretty much these contact cards contain information, right? Basic information, their phone, their email, the source of where they came from, what the opportunity value of the job is, and so on, right? And they're also tagged as, a higher priority lead or in the follow-up stage or whatever it is. And these contact cards get moved around, right? So wherever in the process they are, they're getting put into there. Based on the complexity of your current sales process, this might be a longer pipeline. It might be shorter. It really depends on the type of business that you are. Coming down into here is the automation tab. This is the powerhouse, baby. This is where the money is made. Now, in this specific account, there are no, again, it's a dummy account. Nothing's built out. But automations pretty much are just a set of different actions that take place after a trigger action has been made. Probably sound a little bit confusing, but let's create an example. Say, for example, that this test lead, Casey, came in through a Facebook ad, right? Casey was called. He looks like a good lead. Casey would then be moved to, for example, getting an estimate and have to be followed up with. An automation would be triggered where, since he knows, or Casey has already been estimated, or the project's been estimated, so he'll get a variety of custom text messages from an AI agent that basically says like, hey, Casey, like, pleasure meeting you today. Like, here's a rundown of, the service that we've offered you and like some numbers or whatever. All of that process is automated, right? And each of these pipeline stages could contain an automation. Again, this is business specific and what the actual game plan of the business that we're working with has in play. But that's one example. But automation is just, again, in simplest terms, it's just automating the processes without, basically removes you from the part of having to text these guys, manually call them, because we know that hounding leads sucks. So if we can get, people as far away from that process as possible, everybody wins, right? Each sub account that's created will notice a custom tab in here with our company. This is called the Quantum Intelligence AI tab. This is actually where we come in and build your voice agent. So again, this is a test account. There's nothing in here, but this is where we'd actually create your assistant, right? So we can just go through a quick example here, right? If we create just a blank model, right, you'll see it pop up here. And then if we actually want to go in and edit it, we can come in here, and this is where we are prompting what this assistant is doing. For example, not to get too technical, But we could tell this agent, hello, your name is Bob. You are a employee of Johnny's Luxury Lagoons. Your job is to qualify every lead that comes in. Here's a template or a preset questions that you have to ask each lead that comes in, right? So say a lead comes in with it, there's a 5-minute wait period. This AI will call, the lead, ask these questions with the goal in mind of getting an appointment booked. And if they're not qualified, then they'll kind of part ways, friendly, right? But the goal is to have this assistant mirror your company voice or your brand voice. So it's very important in our end when we're prompting that we, upon working with you, that we know how, you speak to your customers. The cool thing about these agents is they integrate with your calendar, right? They integrate directly into your calendar. So when they are, advising for different times, if the lead is deemed qualified, the AI agent has knowledge on what your calendar looks like. So say you have a lunch block at noon. It's not going to give noon as a time to chat with you, right? And it's also going to be aware of the time zone as well. So if you have a lead, this might not be as useful for local businesses, but say you got a lead that's in a different time zone, they're going to be wary of that knowledge as well. So that is a very important feature when it comes to prompting these AI assistants. So again, just a quick rundown, nothing crazy. Again, this video is created more for the fact of getting you familiar with the system itself, what it's going to look like, and kind of give you a representation of what we have to work in when we onboard with you. I know you probably saw this AI agent. This is Go High Level's version of AI agents. We've been testing this personally, not the biggest fan of it. Might be something that we utilize in the future as it gets better, but it's relatively new to the software. This specific platform that we've been using, we've just found better success. And in terms of the assistant's overall knowledge and the tonality and how they speak, it's more human-like, which is what we want, right? Because at the end of the day, if these robots or if these AI assistants sound like robots, then it defeats the purpose, right? So we want to make sure that we are using the best voice platform that we possibly or that the market has to offer. So if there's any questions, comment, or shoot me a DM, whatever's convenient to you, and we'll be sure to get those answered for you as soon as we can. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the other side.